Yo, good morning. It's Power Plays Palace. We back at it again. Back at it again. Yesterday was a wild ride, man, because of FOMC. It was a lot of chop going on in the market. Let's sit, let's look at it. Let's look at this chart. Let's look at yesterday. As you can see, most of the day, SPY was in the short range, 681 to so I say about 684, a little $3 range, but it really was playing around. It would move a little, then it would chop, move a little, and then around 150 it started to make a move for FOMC, and they cut the rates. So we got some push up all the way up into the 690 area. Then we got some pullback, pullback. Now what you're seeing over here is after 4 o'clock. So the market from about 155, it went from 682 to about 690, but it was some big swings in here around FOMC time, around 2:30, and then it steadily grind up, and then it got up here around this top, and it kind of stayed, and then it pulled back, and then it shot up, come back. So right there before it closed, and as you can see today, it closed over here in the 687 range, but it opened up this morning 682, but gapped down, and already, it done gapped up even while, but before I made this video, it done started closing that gap. So it actually done closed that gap. So it's a possibility it could be a retest here, because right now it's 7:21, still kind of early, so it could be a retest in the pre-market all the way up to this 690 range, possibly. But, that was before we set up the chart for the day. But for yesterday's chart, FOMC, we had some projections up to 686 if you got in at 683, 683.90, and we had some pullback here near resistance of 683. Now, you could have got into the puts early, real early. You could have probably got in around 10 o'clock, pull back, but you'd have stayed in that range most of the day. But at around 682, at around 2 o'clock, the chart, flipped, and it started to move its way up, and you could have hit all these levels around FOMC. So if you played that, then you did pretty decent. You should be okay. And we did all right, man. But FOMC is a wild day, so always be careful trading on that day. So let's look at the what we got going on for today. Based on what was going on when I made this chart, but it's going to be some movement up probably at some point. But we're looking for a breakout long as the SPY can push and hold above the 684.87. Looking for long between 684.95 and 685.25. With the stop loss going at around 684.30, with the target prices on the way up, 685.90, 686.75, and 688. And that's if the trend continues to go up from where it was going, when we first put this together this morning. Now, if SPY testing that upper pre-market range above the 684.90, and between the 684.40 and 684.90, we'll be, looking for it to stall. If it stall out right there, then we'll be putting the stop loss in at 685.20 with targets at 683.60, 682.80, and 682.10. And that's if there's if it doesn't hold in those areas above that 684, 685 really, the 684.90, 685 range. And what we'll do is we'll just watch what it does for the rest of the pre-market and wait for a clean break above the 5-minute and the close of a candle. And once we get that volume with it, then we'll play in that direction. We want to be safe. We play off of the pre-market highs and lows, and once it breaks in one of those directions and holds and tests, then we try to jump in. And that's our SPY trade plan for Thursday, December 11th, today. And remember, we'll be bearish below 682.40 and bullish above 684.87 with some holding. And like I just showed you early on the chart, um, there is some early movement already in the SPY. So it could break and retest those levels. Look at it already moved. So, and this is usually what happened, but you see that gap. It actually closed the gap already. So we'll make some adjustments, but we definitely see the SPYs moving. As you can see, these lines I keep on my chart, they hold face. So, that's what we're looking at today. Right now, it look pretty strong going up. And just be mindful and careful. You see that trend line right there? It broke and it held above that. So, again, it could go all the way back up and retest this the previous day's high. And that's because it's already moving in a direction. It closed the gap. Look like it got some strong candles, so it's some momentum. So we're gonna be careful, be mindful of all that, and follow it, and let the trend take you. Don't get biased on this market, man. It'll get you. But that's your plan for the day. And if anything you see in these videos help you, man, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to join our group, the Discord, just scan the QR code, follow the link, come on in. Hey, man, we'll be happy to have you. But in the meantime, that's your power plays for the day. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow, man, for another power plays. Oh,